Julius, are you going to be at Inbound? When are you coming to Inbound? When are you doing Inbound? I'm at Inbound and this is my event review. Let's look at the branding. Pretty impressive. Is it going to be expensive? Yes, it's going to be expensive, but you need it. You know, look at this. We want to have clear visibility of where things are going to be. This is a marketing event, so if you don't have branding here, I mean, honestly, what are we talking about? People flow coming in. Once you pick up the badge, this is where you got 3 big lines. I'm going to see how the registration goes. The registration starts with an end of line sign. Confusing. But I guess, you know, they're trying to get as many people in as possible. Looks like pretty busy. We'll see what happens.
Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
Everybody's super nice. Thank you, sir.
Very good.
You put me in my line. Love it. Badge pickup is the most important part. Here's my badge, which made it super easy to check in. No complicated scanning, just clicking on it and I was in. So let's start from the show floor here. This is the first experience that you see when you walk into the event. And what they did here, I mean, I'm sure the team reads the newsletter, but even if they don't, great validation for what I've been saying for so many years at this stage. And the biggest trend that everybody's adopting, by the way, if you don't read the newsletter, insights.ballpush.com, 33,000 subscribers. I want you to be part of the gang. But what I shared in the newsletter is this idea of a high street show floor. And what I mean by that is literally the idea of having all the action happening in one spot. So you see there's exhibition spaces, there's activations, and there's content happening right at the show floor. You don't need to go anywhere. I mean, only upstairs, it's there's some academy, what they call certification, basically. So more advanced stuff, but yeah, this is how they're making it happen all in one place. And with an event like this, with a lot of exhibitors, but no hosted buyers, meetings or anything, you need to constantly have traffic on the show floor. And so very well done. I mean, it's got to be said that this is the first year that Inbound is happening in San Francisco for some scheduling conflicts in Boston, where it usually happens, and it's going to go back to Boston anyway. So yeah, that's first time and the last time we'll see it here, which has been challenging for these people, it's gotta be said. As I like to say in my keynotes and presentations and my newsletters, the event starts before the event. And what they did for first timers at Hubspot and Inbound, it's really cool. They did a webinar for first timers, and I could tell that some of my colleagues that listened to that webinar, they were here already kind of plugged in into what was going to happen. And they did this incredible session selector that I covered in my newsletter, that it's a great way. They vibe coded it with Anthropic, Claude. And it was like for the first time in my life, I could actually say I'm interested in events. And yeah, I got all the sessions that were relevant to me. And this is something that Event Tech has tried to do for so many years, but to be honest, they haven't succeeded in. And the amazingness, how good it was, how easy it was to select the sessions was just great for a first timer like myself, was overwhelming. This video is brought to you by Ballpush Plus, the community for event strategists, and Ballpush, my consulting company for top performing event teams. Check us out. The other topic is the presence of events on the program. So it is there with, honestly, some okay sessions and some probably 1 or 2 good ones. The rest of it, yeah, is the usual let's hug each other and be friends type of things. I hope they become more strategic about events and they start giving us how to do ROI with events rather than, you know, the cold, trendy stuff that, again, is going to make events feel like parties. And I hope they dismiss that, because we're not here to joke. Events are a serious thing. They are the best performing tactic for B2B marketers. For 3 years in a row, the biggest source of leads. I would expect a little bit more there to reflect the professionalism of the event people that are here, and I hope they make an effort about that. This is the Hubspot zone, which is the zone where you learn about the product. This is a master class in how you do it. Wait, look at this. Like, this is a product demo happening right here with a ton of people listening, right? Pretty cool recognition of what is happening all around. Micro learning station, they call it. Quickly learning about the product, right? Then they have a review spot, you got a goodie, customer and legal support, and then different areas, right? Different areas for demos, which are pretty cool and important. These are targeted to different personas, right? Targeted to marketers, salespeople, partners, developers, data scientists. This is all the different persona. They have their way of recognizing themselves on the show floor and getting targeted advice instead of like going to someone that maybe doesn't know how to help, right? So this is incredibly well done. And again, with a little content area where you can sort of talk about the product, right? And you can attend sessions specifically about the product. There's a little bit more open than the academy where you need to register. Now, some feedback that I heard from some of the people that attended the academy, so the certification and the training, which is very important for a user conference, you gotta make it relevant to different levels of people, because otherwise you're giving something, again, generic. You're blocking 45 minutes, which, you know, over 2 days or 3 days, it's a lot of time for something that is not helpful. And like, you gotta be helpful at all stages in this. You gotta be able to provide value. Let's see what's next. Something is starting. Keynote. Let's take a look. So presentation happening right behind me. I'm not too sure about the slides in the center screen instead of the speaker. Then the problem with CEOs having to read the script. You know, HubSpot CEO, she does an incredible job. She's very good, but still she's reading a script. And it so shows, obviously she's not an actor or whatever. And so the challenge for planners is like, how do you jazz it up? How do you make it a little bit more interesting, right? We'll see about that during the day. Another item that I wanted to discuss, and I'm having some tea here a while, which tea is free. It's the booth area here, which is pretty cool. It's standardized. So as you see here on top, like everybody has the same kind of logo on top, and they're standard. Then the size obviously varies, which is great. I mean, it looks better, especially for user conferences. You don't want too much. And then they're like, some people wanted to spend more money. They have like full-fledged immersive experiences, which are like super cool. But like the major midpoint for everybody is to have kind of the same looks without going crazy. That makes it easy. Then if I'd be here, it would be purely a brand exercise for me. A lot of walking around, and people like to discover, which is great. But honestly, like some level of like appointments, meeting setting, discovery of the brands, scheduling appointments, zero of that. So, you know, we're like an exhibition trade show floor 101, where you're essentially walking through stuff and activations, but yeah, you're left to being grabbed by people. You can tell they're hungry for meetings. I mean, if you walk with me, you'll see people starting looking at me and looking at my badge while I walk. I don't know if you caught some of the looks here and there, but yeah, that's kind of what it is. And the fact you don't have a lot of foot traffic now, if you're positioned in this area, right, where the traffic is not as high, you know, not Main Street. I mean, by the end of the event, probably you're still gonna have some good leads. I mean, the people here are definitely qualified, which is great, but to be here, I would wanna have some extra levels of security, a little bit more understanding of what business I can close. Circle stage for the win, one of the most challenging to present from, but like, look at this, it looks amazing, it looks incredible. So this is the circular stage that you can see here. Look at this looks incredible. Like the way they're shaping it up, the way they're pulling it together, it's like, looks incredibly amazing. But as a speaker, I presented at these multiple times. Look at this, like you don't know where to look. So they definitely have signs here on the actual stage, which makes it super cool and amazing. But like, this is an incredible design and I love it. It jazzed it up, and this is right on the show floor. This is not a separate room. So I really appreciate the effort that they made for something like this. And then, you know, yeah, it creates a completely different experience for those listening. Let's talk about the exhibitor booth situation here. One of the key trends that I mentioned this year, it's what I call the concept of the hybrid booth. What happens with trends is it's something that maybe has been around for a few years, becomes popular again. But what we're doing with the hybrid booth is the idea that we have multiple activations at the same booth for different stages of the funnel, right? And one of the best implementations that I've seen is this agent AI booth where you have demos and then where you have a wall where you can request what you'd like an agent to do, which is like very on brand. And I love that, right? Because it's gotta be on brand. This is my problem when I see coffee and puppies that have nothing to do with the brand that you have there. It's just like, oh, so cute. And we're cuddling puppies, but we're not doing business, right? And this is also a problem that enhances the perception of event planners as party planners, right? Because at the end of the day, if you really want to be seen as a party planner, you have to make a real effort to showcase brand. And then also another great example of this is the TikTok booth, where you have on the right-hand side the demo and sales, on the left-hand side content happening there with honestly constant traffic, constant build-up around the booth. Content is the biggest activation at booths, at trade shows. This is what research says. This is what I have witnessed as well, doing content at trade show booths now for over 2 years. When we did it at IMAX last year, in a dead area, all of a sudden, 60 people showed out of nowhere and we're like swarming the booth for the benefit of everybody around as well. So hybrid booth, obviously you need to have space for that, but you can be clever. Now, if you have a 10 by 10, probably not your best option. Probably you will be focused on one message clear, because that's the other thing. We'll talk about some of the immersive experiences that I really can figure out. Some of the booths with immersive experiences as such been a little bit of a letdown, I must say, because what happens is that maybe there's a line to get in because the voices around it, they're giving out a lot of swag, and people attend user conferences for swag. I mean, it's part of the game, right? You pay $1,500, you want to get as much swag as possible back to give to your loved ones that do not care about any of the messages that you got on that swag. Fair enough, that's how the industry works, we understand it. But at the same time, you enter these booths and like on one of them, I'm not gonna name and shame them, but honestly, we spent 3 minutes with the lady at the entrance and the guy next to her explaining to us what the exhibit, like the booth was about. And like, honestly, it's like when you have to explain a joke, it's already gone, right? You're not gonna laugh. That's what it is, right? So I mean, you have to make these like very immediate, because we talk all the time about short attention spans, and this is not the way to do it, right? If you have to explain something to it, it's like 4 different activations, like, oh, AI is gonna take over the world and whatever, and this is how you protect yourself with some dresses to put on yourself. What are we doing here? I don't get it. Maybe I'm too old, maybe I'm getting old, maybe the younger audiences get it, but I didn't. And so I didn't appreciate that. And I think some of the booths could be a little bit more creative, a little bit more straightforward as well. It smells to me of like too many layers of approval, too many people involved, agencies that really don't get it. Let's talk about the most important part of every event today, which is the connection element. This is probably the best effort that I've seen at a user conference and probably Convex in general for the connection element. And it's a big change from what they told me. I'm a first timer here in terms of previous editions and the effort that they did. 4 areas actually I want to show you that are incredibly cool and what they did with this to connect according to different levels. Oh my God, I think they downloaded my connection map, and you know, the way they did it's pretty solid, right? So first off, the spot. The spot is like mimics an orientation day that you would have at university with multiple activations from beer pong to a bingo that you can play and connect with other attendees. You have to look for a first timer. You have to look for someone that has an interest in tech, then badges with your language, whatever you speak, and other ways to connect selfies with Polaroids. And this area has been busy for the whole time. It's been sort of four-walled so that people are kind of feeling as part of it. As Hillary, when we did our webinar with Google Live from Inbound said very cleverly, it's a micro event within the event, and so very well done. So that's the spot that you see behind me. And then the other area is the meetup area, right? The meetup area with the revenue ops meetup or the event props meetup. It's an area where you have a little bit of content, but mostly you have an ability for people with the same interests to find their own community. And it's really gathered around all the different personas, which is amazing and great, and I love that. Now, the third area that I love is this Brain Dates Lounge, which is pretty incredible. The way they set it up. Brain Dates, for those that do not know, it's an app within the app, which is not good. I don't like the fact you have to have an app within the app. So please, Brain Dates or someone else, figure it out, because I really don't like that experience. It's pretty bad. And so, but Brain Dates by itself is pretty awesome, because if I'm here and I want to talk about event planning, and the sessions that are here pretty insulting, to be honest, in some cases, I want to connect with people talking about ROI in events, which is what we should talk about today, to be honest. This is a way for me to use the app and create a group about it, meet it one-to-one or one-to-many, and discuss, right? Have a discussion about it in a lounge that has been set up with numbers for it. So I've seen plenty of implementations of lounges. The way they're doing this here is so cool. I love it so much. I really appreciated it. And I had a couple of Brain Dates that were pretty awesome. And the connection element is also happening in this incredible room, which is the Exchange. I love the design of it. I love how hands-on it is. And this is about collabs, something that they launched for this show. It's hands-on workshops in a beautiful setting. I mean, look at this. This looks incredible. It's so nice. And yeah, I loved how, again, this is like a deeper level of connection. It's pre-scheduled sessions, which is important, because Brain Dates, like, you can pre-schedule them. I mean, you can, but like not 2 months in advance. Collabs, you can have before, and you can have people to join. And then upstairs, you have the Academy, which is like another level of connection around content. Content starts getting into the connection, right? And it becomes a reason to connect around something that is not just like, oh, let's party or whatever. And speaking about connection, the last layer is the side events, which is incredible. It's 740 events happening that Hubspot took an interesting spin on this. And what they did was nurture the ecosystem and promote these side events, which is interesting, right? Because a lot of events like suffer from these side events happening around the big events, because they're churning away attendees and tickets, and people prefer to attend side events. I mean, I was at a side event with Zrugo. We did a webinar with them live from the show, and they invited me at their ping pong activation, which was super fun. Still traumatized from losing so bad after flexing on LinkedIn. And but yeah, this was one of those, but like there was a lot of people that had no ticket, but like we're enjoying like 3-4 events every night and connecting with other people. But that level of connection is around drinks. But going back to our topic here, I guess the point is that we really need to make sure that these side events, we have a strategy around it. And Hubspot, honestly, it's an ecosystem of apps, right, that integrate in the marketplace. The ecosystem is so important for them. So it makes sense to have an ecosystem of events as well that kind of like shine a light on these events. The ecosystem is very important for Hubspot, and they did 2 initiatives that I loved about startups and entrepreneurs and nurturing the next generations of exhibitors, so that you can see the progression of becoming a partner with Hubspot and becoming an entrepreneur in software today. So one of them is the Hubspot for Startup area, where they are featuring startups that became part of the experience and did a little bit of partnership with them, and eventually got to create a company out of it, and they're displaying the stories of these founders. The other one is the Spark Zone, where they're having groups to collaborate and create their ideas and pitch their ideas to other groups that vote on ideas, and then roll the dice with unexpected pivots or luck or sort of catastrophic moments like a founder leaving, and how they have to pivot. So the progression is clear, and a lot of events kind of fail to do that, right? Because they're not nurturing the next generation, and they have to sell to people that don't know what the event is about. We used to do this with startup competitions at events. They're not doing it anymore in our industry. Such a shame, such a missed opportunity. Now let's talk about one of the other big topics for the events industry in general, which is content. And see what is happening here. If you're not doing content for your event, I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show up with my camera, with my glasses, and take as much content as possible, because content from events performs better. Content from events is preferred by the algorithm. Content from events is special. There's something different from shooting your content creator content in your garage or whatever with your setup or with your camera, talking head, whatever. You need a different background. Look at this. This looks like more action-packed and you're like immediately curious about it, right? So it makes a ton of sense to have that. You need to involve creators. You need to have creators and you have to give them tools. Now, what they did here, it's a creator lounge, which some things I liked about it, right? The fact that they have different corners where you can shoot video, pretty awesome. I feel that, you have different backgrounds to shoot interviews. The podcasting station, right? Super awesome and, great to record podcasts. And also they're taking the concept of the podcast and shows to the next level, right? They're doing something like one of my former clients, SAS, did, taking the Hot Ones YouTube show on stage, which is great because he uses the creator leverage from YouTube to come here and brings the audience, and then they're recording an episode that will go on Hot Ones, right? Which is an incredible way of maximizing the audience and getting more people to discover HubSpot, right? So you want to leverage that audience after the event. Creators are now part of the game, right? And these creators that create content, not empty community, let's hug each other type of things, right? You need creators that do content. That's so important, right? All of this Creators Hall of Fame. I wish one day I would be there too. And they did a clever activation on day one with giving away matcha drinks in return for subscriptions to the newsletter, right? Which is pretty awesome, a great idea to give more, right? Give something out, but at the same time collect a little bit more of interest from those that are doing the content and creating the content. I love that. What I probably didn't like, we need B-roll, right? You need to be able to give me B-roll. So I'm gonna ask for that and see if we get it. So yeah, no B-roll for creators, as I suspected. Only if you're an approved influencer, you can get the B-roll, which is pretty lame, right? Why don't you make the content available for people like myself that have, probably 100 to 150,000 people following me, event professionals that could see this great experience? No B-roll, sorry. So yeah, this is the problem with sort of health initiatives. You either go full in and you really embrace, especially creators doing content for you for free from the event, or you don't. All right, let's talk about the issue that I have right behind me and the experience that we had as non-VIP at the show, right? And in general, the experience here from an event planner perspective, because, this is also an element that can't deny, right? I love the branding throughout. The branding has been incredible for the show. Really, user conferences should have this type of branding. And also like the way it's rolled out within the show, it's been incredible. But this is what I have an issue with. Like, I spent $1,500 to be here, and VIPs probably paid $300 more to get access to all the lunch. Now, I don't know how the tickets work. Somebody bought the ticket for me. I didn't have visibility. This is the case for a lot of people coming here in teams. And so here's what happens. When you have to then spend $20 to get a chicken burger, waiting in line forever, and if you miss the boat, then you have to go to your carts to get a banana for $13. What are we talking about, right? I think this could be easily managed with better strategy and better financial strategy, to be honest, because you can create VIP tickets. Great lounges like this, fantastic. Fast track, beautiful. Reserved seating, amazing. But you cannot create that discrimination on the experience for food, which is a basic item when you spend $1,500. Honestly, whatever you're gonna do after you don't give me anything to eat, it's not gonna be cool. It's not gonna be, since now you're not gonna recover for that. Such as the first day, the Wi-Fi going down, which is with the Mosconis, not with the event, to be honest. But like, I'm in the heart of technology and AI in San Francisco. The Wi-Fi not working, cannot. This is like really bad. And so fallbacks for it should be in place. I know this is probably part of why Hubspot is going to go back to Boston running, but yeah, something has to be done. And then the amount of people sitting on the floor, essentially charging their phones and trying to catch up on work. I mean, more lounges, more working areas. We're working where we're attending events, and so we gotta be able to have these areas where we can connect with other people and catch up on work and do Zoom calls. Because, like, you know, what does it take to get a lounge sponsored by someone? I mean, HubSpot should have thought about that. So these are some of the things that I really didn't like about the experience. You can throw as many Amy Poehler, on stage or whatever. I'm not gonna care because the basis of my expectation is not being met. And then whatever you do on top of it, yeah, it's gonna be nice, but this is still the hospitality, right, that we want. And this is in general with user conferences tends to happen a lot when marketing teams are involved. And it's not a pure hospitality play like event ownership when they're selling tickets and providing to multiple clients. But overall, I mean, I have to say the level of the event, the quality of it, it's pretty impressive. I think it's pretty good.
Hey you, I'm Julius Solaris. I'm the owner of this channel, and I want you to comment and subscribe so I can bring you more event reviews like this one. I'll see you at the next one.